What up? 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 What's good, people? What is up? What is? They went from the fourth level of hell and sent us down to the seventh level of hell. Why? Because then you got Kwanzaa pulling out her titties. The whore pulled out her titties, and these whore bags over here started feeling and fondling on her tits. What?
I don't have it to do with you. Girl, you can go over there, rant and rave. Girl, you can shake all your rainbow bright hair all you want, dear one. I'm not doing this. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I'm not doing this with you, dear one. I don't have nothing to do with you, and I'm done. Baby, you can scream my name from the rooftops from now till Jesus come back. I'm done after this.
Introduced to Tick's Meat. Do you see what I see? Did y'all really let casting wardrobe? Y'all let him roll up out of wardrobe with these fans on, giving us all of this, thinking we were not gonna see it. We have been waiting with bated breath and anticipating all season long for the slightest glimpse, and y'all just put it out there this episode in all of its magnificent glory.
Listen, that young man said, "Baby, you ate on this first date. You giving up the cooch on the first date, okay? Or you gonna run me my coins? Run me my cooch or run me my coins? Run me my cooch or run me my coins? Run me my cooch or run me my coins." That's our new theme song. That is the new song. Listen, somebody need to put a beat to that. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. Run me my cooch or run me my coins. This what y'all got going on.
Called out Sandcastle. Sand, bitch. Ow. Oh my God, it was so funny, girl. Ooh, baby, listen, let me tell you something. This shit started to turn into the precursor for some gay porn. That's what I thought it was. Because Big T is getting all, the voice starting to go deeper and get a little more wet and moist and sentimental and all this shit. And it was real gay at this point. Like, I thought the bitches was gonna, I thought Lil Murder was gonna turn Big T around and do him like he did Uncle Cliff and do the grease it up with City Lou and ran right in there. It's not a coincidence that Big T started off the conversation by trying to find out if Lil Murder was fucking Mercedes, which he found out he's not. It's also not a coincidence that he would start talking about prison. Why? Because the bitches was probably up in prison. Uncle Cliff, you better go get your man. Big T got plans for that. Well, he had it on look like something Big Bird vomited up or something like that. Like, I did not like it. That Big Bird couture he was going for, it did not work. Like, the pastor of a gay mega church on Easter Sunday. Okay, it was way too much sequins. He had way too much makeup. Baby, his face looked like Iyanla Vanzant's neckline. Okay, just way too much makeup, clumped in everywhere on his face. Get it together, sweetheart. Like, you're a big girl, so that gives you a whole lot of canvas. So that was a whole lot of makeup, honey. And Rico looked like he was auditioning to be one of the Three Kings, or he was auditioning to be the main character on Jesus Christ Superstar. Girl, Wayne, did you have on a blue thong or a blue G-string or something? If you did, I want to see it. Get me up in my DMs, I do want to see if you have some blue thong or a blue, jock strap, something like that. I'd love to see it. Anyway, but I liked it with the turtleneck. Now, Troy.
Hey y'all. Hey. What the hell is up? Y'all listen. It's so much news, so much going on, so much I got to catch y'all up on. I don't even have the time to try to lollygag and, baby, it's a lot going on today. The dossier is so packed. It is packed today. It don't make no sense. Listen, let me say hey to y'all. And we just gonna start right off because I don't know how I'm gonna fit all of this in. Listen, I have no idea how I'm gonna get literally while the intro was playing, I saw another story I needed to add to the dossier. Shout out to DPG, who also sent me a story that's in the dossier today as well. It's so many. I got like 20 stories in the Sugar Spike segment alone. Let's see how many I got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 stories in the Sugar Spike segment. I don't know how we're gonna do it, but we've done it before, and we'll do it again. Let me hurry up and say hey to y'all so we can get this party started. Go ahead and hit the like button, share the video out, do all of the things that y'all know y'all supposed to do. 4 is coming over. 4 like me when I'm scruffy and stuff like this. So 4 was like, "Are you all scruffy when I come over the other night?" I looked at my phone. I said, "I guess I'm all right." He was all excited about coming over too. Child. He was real excited. And I'm looking at my phone like, who I'm going to call over when you leave? Is that bad? I literally was looking at my phone like, bitch, who I'm going to call over when you leave? Let me say hey to y'all. We got a lot of shit to get through, y'all. Hey, crazy homebody girl. Bama girl, what's good, my love? Hey, brown mama. Brown mama, we gonna get there. The Inform, what's going on, sir? How are you? Jason, what's good, bro? Child, they say listen, can I tell y'all the hate mail that I've gotten in the last 24 hours? Apparently, I'm the worst person on earth. I'm such a horrible person inside and out. I was like, okay. Hero! Hey. We love you, Hero. Y'all know the people loves Harold. We do love Harold around here. Harold is a hall monitor, been in the game a long time. Walk the halls heavy today. You know they be here with the fuck shit. But shout out to the hall monitors, because yesterday the hall monitors was all in here holding it down. Hall monitors was like, yeah, come through with that fuck shit. All the way up until the very end when I was getting ready to click to end the live, Lil Baby was still in the bushes sniping people up to the last second. So shout out. Put a shondo in the chat for all of the hall monitors, if you would, please. Shout out to them because they're so great at what they do. Hey, Lock Queen. Hey, Katrina. Hey, China White. What's going on? Antonia, how are you, my love? Hey, Tamara. Hey, Tracy W. Wait, Tuesday? No, it's Tracy W. You almost fucked me up. Baby, I'm like, wait a minute. Am I messed up on my days? It is Thursday. Oh, you almost had me messed up, Tracy. Girl. Terrence, what's good, bruh? Angela, you all right up there? Have you found my little slider? You found my little slider riding around the city of Detroit yet, Angela? And gave her my number. Go find my slider. You know who I'm talking about. Go find my little slider in your state and give him my number. We're gonna need Larry a few times today. Hey, Janae Boo. Hey, Crimson 25. How you doing? Candace F, what is up? DPG, how are you? They are losing it, DPG. And ladies and gentlemen, coming to us all the way from the ghetto, talking about the ghetto, none other than Chef Don himself. Hey, boo. Tawana, how are you, sweetheart? Tracy C, I just went ahead and paid off my cruise today. So I'm locked and loaded for the cruise, Tracy. Make sure, because me and Tracy, we're going to have our own exclusive bar crawl. There's going to be the bar crawl for everybody, but me and Tracy C going to have our own exclusive bar crawl. All the drinkers Y'all hang with me and Tracy C because we're gonna be drinking. I'm just get your liver in order now. Go ahead and get your liver in order now because me and Tracy C gonna be drinking. Mm-hmm. 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 Go ahead and get your tequila, Harold. I started to fix me a drink, but I was like, I need to have everything together to make it all the way through all of this stuff. Chow. Chow. Look at this one. Chow. I showed the 4 was in the palate cleanses this past Tuesday. Uh-huh. Y'all, I ain't tell y'all who he was, but he was there. Hey, Savon. I ain't think about you or that man. Hey, Ravine. What's going on, Ravine? Child, y'all always over here windmilling for 4 for 4. I'm with you, Chef Don Don. You mad? All right, girl. Well, go with God. Go with God. mm, mm. Shall we talk about all of the black bodies that were murdered, butchered, maimed, lynched, shot, and so forth in front of their families? When white people were bringing their families to have picnics on the park lawn as they were lynching and murdering black bodies. Shall we talk about that? Since we're concerned about families and children. Oh my God. That only applies to them, right? Because when they were bringing their families and children to watch our black bodies be murdered, there wasn't a problem. Girl, miss me. I ain't got that type of time. Mm-hmm. Hey, Sharice. Hey, Symmetry. Mm-hmm. Mm. Oh, it's Sharice's birthday? Oh, girl. Sharice. I didn't even see that you said it was your birthday. I missed that whole part. I just saw Sharice and said, hey, Sharice. Sharice, we about to have a shot for Sharice. I'm going to drink this one. I told you I'm supposed to be staying lucid because I got a big dossier. But that's my girl, Sharice, now. We will cut into all our regularly scheduled programming for Sharice. Sure will. Oh, girl. Go ahead and post some of this. I can already taste it nice. The way this finna foot me up. Y'all put some birthday shout outs in there for Sharice. Cause we finna take this this birthday shot for Sharice. Y'all know to go ahead and let us know in the chat what you drinking on. I'll give you a second to get your drinks together. Hey, Tree. Hey, Complex 613. KB Travel Love. How are you? There go my girl. Hey, Demetria. Hey, everybody. Hey, Simera. Child, we got a lot of things to discuss. My room drink package at internet was paid off last month. I got to get a room drink package. Tracy, you got to show me how to do all of that. Okay. I don't know how to do all of that. I just paid off my cruise, so now I can get all my little packages or whatever. You got to show me how to do all that, Tracy. I don't even know how to get to the stupid little through the stupid little app. The app's so stupid to me. I can't work it or whatever. Montrez, what's good, bruh? We're gonna get to that too, the informed. That's why I said we got so much to talk about. Chat Marty, what's good, sweetheart? Chat, we gonna get to that too. Here, I told y'all the dossier is so packed. We got so much shit to get through. That's why y'all come over here so I can make sure I keep y'all informed. Chat. All right, hey Miss Shorty B, what's going on? What's going on? All right, I think we about ready. Hey, Uncle Jay. Y'all notice Uncle Jay been, coming to class late or not coming to class at all. Trade that had him hemmed up. Trade. He been over there with Trade. Charlotte. Charlotte, North Carolina style trade, or is that Raleigh? Somewhere over there, North, them North Carolina countrified trade, they hit different, honey. Baby, when they hit you with that stroke game, they put some weight behind it, baby. Baby, they hit corners you didn't even know you had over there. Okay. Yes, I do, Terrence. Email it to me. If y'all, yeah, email me the Terrence, email me the link to the room block. Uh-huh. Hey, Precious Jewel. All right, we ready. This is our birthday shot for our girl, our West Coast mamacita, Sharice. We love her. We love her. Up to it, down to it, whatever they say. We just do it. Drink up. Oh. Oh. Mm. Oh. Well, then there's that. Oh. Whew. That was a lot. Oh, that was a lot. Oh. Oh, we love you, Sharice. Oh. Oh. I guess we're loose now. Mm. You shake up my crystal light a little bit more. It looked like it was collecting down at the bottom. Mm. Cha. Anyway, y'all, we already behind schedule. So let's go ahead and get this party started. All right. Because we don't want to get too far behind. The dossier, like I said, is packed. And we want to make sure we can try to cover everything that we have to cover down in today's dossier. You took a shot of Jack? I know that's right. I took a shot of my British Virgin Islands gin that I've been holding on to from when I went to the Virgin Islands. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. All right. So before we berry flavored Jack. Oh. So before we get to the sugar spike, our traditional sugar spike segment, we do have to start today in remembrance that today is September 11th, and 24 years ago, those of us who were alive and old enough to remember, we remember that was it's like a marker in your lifetime. Like you remember life before September 11th and then life after September 11th, because so much changed about everything during that time. So we certainly want to make sure that we do not hey Sweet Pea, what's going on? We want to make sure that we don't, before we get to all of the fuck shit and fuckery, we want to make sure, hey LMV, that we thank you, Terrence. We want to make sure that we remember the lives lost on 9/11. So many of us have family members and friends and loved ones that were either directly affected by it or tangentially affected by it. A lot is made about the 3,000 plus that died in the Twin Towers. Not a lot is said about the 6 people. There were three children and 6 teachers from Lecky Elementary in DC that were on flight 77 that hit the Pentagon, and they were on their way to California for a National Geographic field trip to do some things with National Geographics, and they tragically lost their lives. And we rarely hear anything about those 6 black bodies and black lives that were lost on flight 77 that flew into the Pentagon. And listen, it is It's a tragic story. I often tell the story of my own family. My aunt, the only reason she's alive today, she worked on, I think, the 90th or 90 is somewhere in the early night, like 90th or 93rd floor, something like that, on the North Tower, which was directly hit. Everybody in her office died. The only reason she was not killed was because my cousin had a parent teacher conference that had gotten in trouble, had a parent teacher conference, and she had to go to his parent teacher conference and ended up being late for work. And she always tells her story. She was literally 3 blocks from the building, and literally the plane went over her head and went straight into her building. And she saw it, and she was like, I would have been right there. I would have been in that I would have been killed. She knew it immediately. She would have been killed. We all have our heralding stories from that. And certainly we certainly continue to pray for those directly and adversely affected by the tragic events of 9/11, because regardless as to whatever all of the other stuff and fuck shit that we have to hit today, we need not remember, we need not forget, I should say. Okay, we need not forget the real reason flags should be at half staff today. We heard people speak more about yesterday than we have about what we're supposed to be commemorating today. I remember. Always remember it was a Tuesday because at the time I was living in Chicago. I just graduated college, literally. Like a few months earlier, had just graduated to college from my bachelor's degree, and I had recently moved to Chicago to start a new job, and we were in new employee orientation for 9 months, and fresh out of college. I was 22 years old, and I remember Aaliyah had just died like 2 weeks before that. I remember we were all, the black community, we were all grieving the fact that Aaliyah had just died like 2 weeks before, right? I remember it was Tuesday because I called off work that Tuesday morning because we went to watch Sunday night. We went to a bar to watch Monday Night Football, and I got trashed. I went with my coworkers after work, and we got trashed watching Monday Night Football. We were taking like shots for every like touchdown, and if the touchdowns didn't come fast enough, we were doing it for every first down. It was something stupid like that. I was young and dumb. Um, and I remember waking up the next morning. When I woke up, I think that the planes had already crashed. So I was laying on I remember I never made it to the bed. I was laid out on my couch. The TV was on. Good Morning America was on. And I rolled over. I opened my eyes, and they were like playing, I guess, the plane crashing in. And I opened my eyes, and I was like, oh, that's going to be a real good movie. I thought it was a movie they were showing. I said, oh, that looked like a real good movie. I need to watch that when it come out. And I rolled back over, and like it was nothing. And my phone, I had turned my phone off because I knew I was drunk, and I just turned my phone off. And by the time I woke up, it was about maybe 10:30, 11 o'clock. And I had my phone, I had turned on my phone. Baby, listen. My phone was blowing up, and now it was out. It went from there. Because we couldn't find my aunt that I was telling you about. We couldn't find her for like 4 days. Took us 4 days to get in contact with her. So anyway, for those of us that can remember, hey, Miss Baythang, hey, Jay Parrish, hey, Jay Wash. I'm not ashamed of my age. I know I was born in 1979. Anyway, that's a well-known fact, Jay Wash. Anyway, not that they told y'all every time I'm playing here. I remember being in school when during the Challenger space craft blew up. I was in like kindergarten, I think it was, when the Challenger blew up. Because I remember we were all watching the TV. It was like all of the kindergarten classes got together to watch it in like this big, I don't know if we were in that. Were we in the library? We were somewhere, but we were all watching it because remember they had a teacher on the space shuttle, and we were all watching it, and we watched it go up, and we were and it when it blew up, we were still. I don't think as kindergartners we understood the magnitude, but I remember one of the teachers like immediately turned it off and was like, "Okay, we're going back to class," and we weren't like immediately sad because we were like, "Oh, okay." And I don't think we fully understood what happened back then. I remember that. Anyway, it was the first day of ninth grade for you, Stephanie Child. I think we all remember. I think we all remember where we were. Whatever. I think we all remember where we were at that time. I think we all remember where we were at that time. Cha. Baby, I thought it was a movie, Harold. I said, oh, that's going to be a good movie. It turned right back on over. Child. I turned right back over, rolled back over like it was nothing. Child. Child. Oh, wow. I did not know that. Ravine says she was on the World Trade Center Plaza when the planes hit. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. Anyway, so regardless as to what happened today, we remember and commemorate 9/11, September 11th, 2001, when thousands of lives were lost on the airplanes, on the in the Twin Towers, those that were that lost their lives around the Twin Towers, those that lost their lives in the aftermath, trying to clean up the rubble at both the Pentagon, the Twin Towers, or other places. There are people that lost their lives even in, after the planes hit and things like that. So certainly we want to commemorate 9/11, a day that we will never forget and will always remember. Um, and with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, gender-conforming members of our audience, it is time. Yes, I bring to you the late great Larry Myers to help us usher in our Sugar Spike segment.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So loved the world. I want to fight. That he gave his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And who shall ever believe?
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus. Thank you, Larry. We start off today because I'm black, y'all. I'm black, y'all. I'm blackity black, and I'm black, y'all. Top story of the day is the targeting of HBCUs around the country. At last count, there were 6 HBCUs targeted today in the aftermath of the killing yesterday. As of right now, it was Alabama State, Virginia State, Hampton, excuse me, Clark Atlanta, Southern, and Bethune-Cookman. Those are the ones that I know about. Alabama State, Virginia State, Hampton, Clark Atlanta, Southern, Bethune-Cookman. Those are the 6 that I am aware of at this point that were targeted, saying that there would, in some cases, they said that there would be, there were threats of mass shootings, there were threats of violence that were made to the universities and other types of terroristic threats. The universities each said that they were in coordination with local and federal law enforcement with regard to the situation. All of the schools went on lockdown. All of the schools, many of them canceled classes, not only for the rest of today, but also tomorrow. Um, and that's what we have so far. I am saying to any of us in the chat, if you have family, friends, and loved ones that are, hey, Culture Love, that may be at an HBCU, give them a call, tell them to be safe, be vigilant. This may be the next 2 days, even if classes are not canceled. These may be the days. If you need to take a day to skip a class, that may be the day to skip a class. The day to skip a class, because we definitely do not want the hurt, harm, or loss of any of our loved ones. Um, Harold, yes, that is correct. Spelman and Morehouse, all of ACU, Atlanta Collegiate University system. They all of this, Morris Brown, Morehouse, Spelman, all of the HBCUs are, collectively in that same general Clark Atlanta vicinity in Atlanta. And so they canceled classes for all of them. Once Clark Atlanta got the word, it spilled out to all of them, although Spelman and Morehouse did not receive direct threats to their universities. Listen, um it's serious out here, and white racists and nationalists have taken this as their dog whistles to start any and all violence. To them, this was this was the turning point for them starting their civil war. Is mhm. Bethune-Cookman, there was word that people were saying that Bethune-Cookman had an active shooter, and that has now been said that that's not the case, although there was a message sent to all students at Bethune-Cookman that said, quote, all faculty and staff should head home, and those not on campus should plan to work remotely. Safety is our first priority, and we will continue to provide updates. That was the second message that was made, but the first message that went out from Bethune-Cookman to its faculty, staff, and students said that classes had been canceled and urged students to return to their dorm rooms and shelter in place. And the shelter in place part is the part that made people alarmed and had them think that there may perhaps be a active shooter. We did later find out that that was not the case. But all 6 of the universities, as I stated, was placed on lockdown. Many of them have not only canceled class today, but also tomorrow. So please have your students, family, friends, children, loved ones check with their respective universities, who probably have already sent out communications to faculty and staff, but certainly check with the local universities so that they can see what the situation is for school tomorrow. Even if they're not at one of the universities that were listed, still check with and not, and I wouldn't even just limit it to HBCUs. Um um so I would check with any school. If you have any of our students you see at any school, I'm not telling you what to do. Hey, Tarshell. But what I'm going to say is this may be a good weekend for you to say, hey, baby, just stay home. Unless you have an essential reason to be on campus, stay home. Tomorrow, we'll see y'all on Monday. Let cooler heads prevail. Let the situation die down, because right now shit is it's tenable out there. It is serious out there. You heard that a school in New Jersey has been added. That may be the case. As the latest updates that I have right now, those are the schools that I have. But like I said, that I'm applying it to any school, not even just the HBCUs, but if you have students, black, brown, students of color, students that may be LGBTQ or any of that nature, we need to protect our own and tell these students to stay vigilant. Um, and about the things that's going on. So Tarshell says her child says nobody at his HBU had even mentioned it when I talked to him earlier. They probably have by now. I certainly hope so. I don't know if there will be cancellations of homecoming. It's still early. Homecoming season really hasn't started yet. The earliest of homecomings you probably won't see until very late in maybe the last week of September. Most homecomings fall within the month of October, early November. hmm You do have some early ones that may fall on the last week of September. Um, we don't they still have not found the shooter. They did put out Tawana, and we'll get to that later. A picture of a person of interest, but that person did not look to be black. hmm Um, Alabama State does have a football game scheduled for this weekend. I'm not sure of what that means. Um, and For that game or for the games involving any of these institutions. So we'll, like I said, we'll definitely stay on top of this and get you as much information as we can. We'll stay on top of this. The HBCU Classic is on Saturday. That's the one in New York, right? I haven't heard, and I believe that's the one that Ravine was telling us about. If y'all get any information, updates, y'all know to send it to me. You can put it in the members only chat, or you can email it to me, or anything like that, and we'll definitely keep you up to speed on all of that. But certainly, we want to make sure that the safety to life and well-being of our own, that we look out for that. So if you have students at any HBCU or any school whatsoever, stay vigilant. We cannot count out the fact that there is a large contingency of black students at PWIs, and there's a lot of hotheads, and there's a lot of people descended from the Caucasus Mountains right now that are looking for a reason to incite violence. Okay, to incite violence. So black student unions and their counterparts at PWIs, stay vigilant. Like I said, this is the weekend to say, you know what, I'm gonna just stay home this weekend, or I'm gonna just stay in my apartment or dorm or whatever. And you know, this is not the weekend to go out. Okay, so let's stay vigilant. Let's keep our people safe and so forth. All right. Um, any more details that I get on this, I will let you all know. Any Anything else I find out, I'll keep you all informed. Certainly, those of you all in the members only chat, will certainly keep you all informed. And so forth. Hey, Catherine Powell. Right, the HBCU Classic is this weekend. Like I said, if you find out anything, Ravine, about any postponements or cancellations or anything like that, let me know. For those of you all going to the HBCU Classic in New York, head on the swivel, stay vigilant. You know what I'm saying? Just, we're in some questionable and crazy times right now. So yeah. In more news, while everything was happening over in Utah, in addition to what was going over in Utah, Simultaneously, there was a school shooting in Denver, in Colorado, in Evergreen, Colorado. It was at Evergreen High School. They say that a student shot two of his peers yesterday at a suburban Denver high school before shooting himself and later dying. The handgun shooting was reported around 12:30 p.m. at Evergreen High School in Evergreen, Colorado, about 30 miles west of Denver. Now, if you know anything about Denver, that's probably is that close to the airport? Because I know that damn Denver airport is how many damn miles away from the city of Denver. Anybody ever been to Denver and flown into their airport, and it take you like 45 minutes of driving through the mountains to get from Denver airport to the damn city? Just a mess. Just a damn mess. Anyway, um, according to law enforcement, shots were fired both inside and outside of the building, and law enforcement officers who responded found the shooter within 5 minutes of arriving. And that's according to Jefferson County Sheriff's Office. None of the law enforcement officers who responded to the shooting fired any shots. More than 100 police officers from the surrounding area rushed to the school to try to help. A 1999 school shooting at Jefferson County's, and this is the same county um, where Columbine happened, and 14 people were killed. So this is the same county where Columbine High School happened. The teens who were shot were originally listed in critical condition. They were transported to St. Anthony Hospital in the area. Their ages were not released. By early afternoon yesterday, we learned that one of the teens was in stable condition. Um, and then that's all the details we had that at that point. I have not had any other details on it. Certainly there'll be much more that will be found out about the gunman and so forth, and maybe there's a he may have had a letter, manifesto, or some other things that point to a motive behind this. But this points to the problem with gun violence. For those people that are crying and besides themselves at the assassination and murder of Charlie Kirk, this speaks to an ongoing problem that we've had in this country, which is gun violence. That Charlie Kirk and the MAGA nuts refuse to want to do anything about. You're so angry when one of your own is gunned down, but don't want to do anything about the root cause and problem that led to people being murdered. Here we are. Here the fuck we are. I saw that, Tracy, and some of this stuff is hard to watch. Very hard to watch, especially for people in education who've worked in education and worked in schools. When you hearing about a school shooting, nonetheless seeing some of the video and things that come out, it grieves you. It unnerves you. It's hard to watch because you can only think about what you would do in that situation, and probably in your gut say, is it going to be my school next? And that's always in the back of your mind. We'll certainly keep an eye on the situation and update you as more information is made available. In more news in the aftermath of Utah yesterday, well, we talked about the HBCUs being targeted. Well, the Democratic National Headquarters in Washington, D.C. was also targeted today. The United States Capitol Police responded to an incident at the Democratic National Committee headquarters in Washington, D.C., and that's according to an alert sent to Senate staff. The alert asked the staff to, quote, remain clear of the police activity, end of quote. And at that time, no other details regarding the nature of the incident was disclosed. But there was a message that went out to Senate staffers that said the Democratic National Committee. What did it say? Let me read it. Hold on. It said, let me show y'all what it. Hold on. See if I can. All right. This is what it said. It said, police activity, Democratic National Committee headquarters. Please inform your staff. And this came from the Senate Operations Center. Make that a little smaller. Capitol Police are responding to an incident at the Democratic National Committee headquarters. Staff are asked to remain clear of the police activity. More updates are forthcoming as the situation evolves. Reminder: immediately report any suspicious activity you see to Capitol Police by dialing 911 from a landline or 202, and they have the number, so forth and so forth. That's what went out to Senate staffers. That is what went out to Senate staffers. Um, and if you've been on social media and looked at some of the rhetoric, hey Karen D, um, these people, before they know who the murderer is, before they know their political leanings, ideations, or do anything to find out what's really going on, they've jumped to conclusions led by their God King Donald John, who's stoking the flames of political violence and political unrest. Now, people close to the situation have said that there was an actual, what happened was there was a bomb threat made to the DNC headquarters. They went through through the building with, the police, law enforcement, bomb sniffing dogs, and they found that there was nothing there. And then they deemed that the bomb threat was not credible. However, they still wanted to, even after sweeping the interior of the building, they still wanted people to stay away out of an abundance of caution. So all of this is happening. All of this is happening. Why is all of this happening? Because yesterday, that man right there was murdered. Murdered. I told y'all, as of right now, let me give you the updates that we have. As of right now, the shooter, unless it's happened in the last hour or so, we still don't have a shooter. They do have a video, they say, that shows a clear image and picture of the shooter, but they're refusing to release it. They released some still pictures of the excuse me, they released some still pictures of a person of interest. And they say that they have who they believe to be the suspect. However, they have not apprehended the suspect. They said it was one gunman who fired from a rooftop some 200 plus yards away. And if you've seen the images or the videos, that person has to be either military trained or some type of professional marksman, because the accuracy of that shot, the accuracy of the shot is uncanny. It has to be someone who has great, marksman abilities. Now, there's all types of conspiracy theories all over the place. I saw a video where people were saying the two guys behind him were giving gestures and hand signals to tell the person to, is to do the shoot, to, pull the trigger. I don't know. I don't know nothing. But what I did tell y'all yesterday, that's the updates that we have. The suspect is still at large. We did find out that the head of the Utah field office was fired not long before this incident, and to make way for some new person because the other person didn't want to bend to the political whims and ideations of Donald John. And so I just I don't know. Now our local military personnel, great personnel, Tara say, listen, with today's weaponry, he could have been easy taken out. It was less than 500 yards. It's an easy shot. Listen, that was a long ways away. I don't know. Anyway, yeah, it and he was answering the questions about mass shootings at the time, specifically with regard to trans people and mass shootings. When he was there are graphic videos all over the internet that show everything, which goes to the point of mainstream media, mainstream legacy media. What is your point at this point? Because you go to mainstream legacy media, oh, we're not going to show this, and with the click of a button, you see everything that they're not going to show. I told you all that would be ascended to martyrdom yesterday. I told you all that there were going to be statues, there were going to be tributes. He is now their patron saint here in America for all MAGA nuts, racists, bigots, and white supremacists. I told you all that yesterday. And the news media is capitulating. Now, MSNBC, whose dirty slip has been showing for some time now, MSNBC, they fired Matthew Dowd, who you see there, who's been a contributor to MSNBC for years now. So they fired Matthew Dowd after they said he made hateful comments concerning Charlie Kirk, because they're more in the business of protecting Charlie Kirk's legacy than they are protecting the millions of people in this country who Charlie Kirk on a daily basis put in harm's way and put in danger. Here's the video. Here, let me play the video. Where's the video? Here's the video.
We need the full details of this. That we don't know if this was a supporter shooting their gun off in celebration, or so we have no idea about this. But following up what was just said, he's been one of the most divisive, especially divisive younger figures in this, who is constantly sort of pushing this sort of hate speech or sort of aimed at certain groups. And I always go back to hateful thoughts lead to hateful words, which then lead to hateful actions. And I think that's the environment we're in, that people just, you can't stop with these sort of awful thoughts you have and then saying these awful words and not expect awful actions to take place.
Matt.
And that's the unfortunate environment we're in.
That's what he said, and he was fired. Where's the lie? Hey, Ronald, he didn't say nothing that was wrong, Ronald. Where's the lie? I don't see it. The man didn't try to paint Charlie Kirk any worse than what Charlie Kirk was. What he said was the man was divisive. The man said things that caused a divide in this country. But I don't know why what he said, MSNBC, was so horrible, so horrific that the man had to be fired. But he was. He was fired. Mm-hmm. Yep. Oh, listen. They and I don't see how. And you even have MSNBC, CNN, and all of these people contorting themselves and bending themselves in ways that are just extraordinary, trying to make Charlie Kirk into some martyr, into some person that we should have been praising. It's just, now, I'm not saying that people should be murdered, but what I am saying is, because he was murdered, that does not negate the fact that he was a horrible person. And we can't contort and ourselves and try to make him into some demigod. Well, you know, they've been slurping from his nutsack for some time now. So you got MSNBC doing that. Then in the great state of New York at Yankee Stadium last night, they had a whole Charlie Kirk remembrance moment of silence. All of this, like we are celebrating or we are commemorating the horrific death of a head of state. This is the New York Yankees. This happened last night. We had a former member of the Minnesota House of Representatives, former Speaker of the House of Minnesota, who was murdered in cold blood while she laid in her bed with her husband. They ain't batting an eye. Where was our tributes? Because these are the white people, so I dare not say where's can we get a tribute anytime there's a black person of note that's murdered? Because there's been a lot of notable black people, noteworthy black people that were murdered. Where's the tributes? I'm asking. That's a real question. Because now we are full scale wrapping our arms around and embracing bigots, racists, misogynists, and homophobes. Again, I'm not saying that anybody needs to be murdered, but what I am saying is what we're not going to do is deify someone who is a deplorable and detestable human being who wanted to see the deaths of millions of Americans. Let's call it what it is. The man was vocal about wanting to see the death of millions of Americans. Since you're all so patriotic and pro-America, right? You only want to see the humanity in people when those people fit into the big five: white male, Christian, heterosexual, and rich. I'm with you on that, BAP, because in their estimation, every horrible thing, all of the millions of lives he on a daily basis put in harm's way by stoking the flames of hatred, by stoking the flames of racism, by stoking the flames of bigotry, by giving dog whistles to people who would do physical harm and violence to these people. All of that goes away, right? Because he was gunned down. Not saying it's horrible that he was gunned down, and it's horrible that anybody gets gunned down. And I hate that he got gunned down, and I hate the rhetoric that he put out there into the zeitgeist and atmosphere that led to the gun violence and the fact that he got gunned down. Do you remember how all those white people was calling OJ all types of scum as soon as he well, they were. Mm-hmm. Jay Thomas, they have morals only when it applies to them. Mm-hmm. Listen, I don't know what y'all want. Listen, I told you I'm not reserving no space for this young man. None. I have no space reserved for him. I am not a proponent of gun violence. I am not a proponent of people being assassinated and murdered, but I'm also not a proponent or a promoter or not going to sit and cry and weep and be in a fetal position because this man was on a daily basis putting in the atmosphere that whole groups of communities should be murdered and tortured, and that there should be violence against them. And he did that on a daily basis. And y'all are up here as if we are commemorating the death of a glorified deity or something. Now, his wife and his children, baby, I need their families to go over there and wrap their arms around them and love on them because I hate it for his wife and his children. However, let's not act as if he wasn't who he was. Here we are, but you got Yankee Stadium, right? They have a whole moments of silence and stuff. They got him on the Jumbotron and, the big Jumbotron and stuff. Right? As if we've lost the head of state. Mm-hmm. Here we are. Mm-hmm. I mean, I have the video. I dare not do that to you all. They are having vigils all across the country. You got some of our people over there on Al Gore's Good Internet making videos crying and weeping and all types of stuff. They got all of these vigils and crying and weeping, and when a black person is murdered in cold blood, it doesn't even make a headline. They go on as if nothing happened. It's no more than somebody swatting a mosquito and that mosquito died and got flicked off because they don't see the humanity in us. But we have to be forced to always see the humanity and understanding the humanity of people who are outwardly calling for our murder, outwardly calling for us to be disenfranchised, for us to have violence committed against us. Here we are. Well, RG3 is in the fetal position, rocking back and forth in his bed right now. He hates his black skin and wants every parts of being white. Let's be clear. Exactly, Green Girl. We are supposed to be commemorating 9/11, and they act as if their own, as if some glorified demigod has died, and it should overshadow anything. Baby, listen. Speaking of sports, this whore Sage Steele decided she would enter the group chat. Did. So Sage Steele, this is what she wrote on X, formerly Twitter. Quote, "Dear Pro Sports Leagues, looking forward to seeing you release statements and send condolences to Charlie Kirk's family after he was murdered for his political beliefs. You know, kind of like you did when career criminal George Floyd died." End of quote. Child, what just happened to my damn screen? Hold on, y'all. That's Sage Steele if you need her. If you should need her. If you should need her. This is what we're dealing with. Here's what we're dealing with. Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. This is what we're dealing with. Larry, the people need you. Larry, we need you one more time, Larry.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So long, well, I want to fight. Daddy gave, he gave, his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
I wish somebody help me.
Thank you, Larry. I see you, Yana. You good, girl. You all right over there, Yana? Let us know. If you need us, Yana, we here. We are always here. Let us know if you need us. But here we are. Bitch, go rot in hell, Sage Steele. She has been wearing that same wig for a long time. In more sugar spiky news, my boo thing in my head, Brandon Scott, mayor of Baltimore, had to check a bitch. Did. He had to check a bitch today. So, let me bring you up to speed on this situation. Hold on, where am I? All right. So, Baltimore City Mayor Brandon Scott called out a local journalist who implied that a member of his staff was a part of the street gang, the Crips, simply because he was wearing a blue hat. Now, the journalist's name is Gary Collins. He's a MAGA nut. He's turned local journalist. He is a former RNC delegate. Yeah, let me put up the what he wrote. Hold your line. So this is what Gary Collins wrote yesterday. I mean Tuesday. He said, "Happy Tuesday. I hope all is well at City Hall. Quick question. As I was reviewing some footage our team took on Friday of a safety walk involving Maryland Governor Wes Moore and Baltimore Mayor Brandon Scott, that the attached image stood out to me. My questions are as follows. Which site are they publicly seen? Are these publicly seen safe street workers employed? Why are the clear gang colors of blue, which tend to illustrate in communities that a person is affiliated or associated with the Crips or Crip related organizations, seen walking with two of the state's most prominent elected officials? Are active members of crews, groups, or other enterprises currently employed by Safe Streets? What measures are in place to ensure Maryland and Baltimore taxpayers are funding individuals currently working with or affiliated with criminal groups, especially considering the incident involving David Caldwell and the clear gang colors displayed by Safe Street workers financed by public money? This part will be included in my story today. My deadline is no later than 1 p.m. Best, Gary M. Collins. Investigative journalist, Spotlight of Maryland, Sinclair Inc. Really, Mr. Collins? Anybody in the Baltimore area familiar with this man? Uh, Anybody familiar with this man? Well, my boo thing in my head. We're not ready for that one yet. This one and this one. All right. My boo thing in my head. Mayor Scott had this response. What his team did. Gary, this is the worst set of questions you have ever sent me. Suggesting a blue jacket and hat on a single black safe street employee is a clear indication of gang affiliation. Is not only a reach, it's racist and speaks to your outlet's character and clear prejudice. That prejudice with racial elements is a part is apparent in so many of your stories, but this example is egregious even for you. Should we assume that you wearing a blue suit means that you are also affiliated with a criminal enterprise? Continuing to push the narrative that an organization composed primarily of black employees focused on mediating violence in black communities must be inherently criminal is appalling in its blatant racism. Mayor Scott and Mons, that's the organization involved here, remain committed to effective oversight of the Safe Streets program in partnership with community-based administrators. As we have shared with your station previously, under Mayor Scott's leadership, Mons has standardized and strengthened the Safe Streets hiring process, which includes law enforcement and community vetting, as well as routine background checks for all staff during employment. Lastly, staff from all sites held a shooting response earlier Friday afternoon to provide direct support to community and reiterate the program's anti-violence message, and were present for the walk with Governor Moore and Mayor Scott. I am CCing the news director here to ensure that the entirety of our response is seen by station leadership. We sincerely hope that you'll consider airing this blatantly racist and baseless accusation, though we know that kind of responsible judgment is unlikely for you. Hmm. This is the kind of fuck shit. Hey, Gigi. This kind of fuck shit that we have to deal with on a daily basis. Mm. Here we go. In more news, well, I told y'all that there would be reverberations from that ICE raid that they did in Georgia, where they picked up all of those South Korean nationals, and they're supposed to be flown back to South Korea today. Well, here's the reverberations. Here's the fuck around and find out part. The massive ICE raid at Hyundai EV battery manufacturing plant in Georgia last week has likely set the facility's opening back several months. And that's according to Hyundai CEO Jose Munoz when he spoke to reporters just today. He said, "quote This is going to give us give us minimum 2 to 3 months delay because now all these people want to get back to South Korea. Then you need to see how can you fill those positions, and for the most part, those people are not in the U.S." End of quote. Now, when completed, the factory, jointly operated by Hyundai and LG Energy Solution, is expected to hire thousands of Americans. It was originally slated to come online later this year. However, after the Department of Homeland Security carried out its largest single-site enforcement operation ever by detaining nearly 500 people, that's got to be pushed back now. Who knows when they're going to be able to open it and hire these thousands of people that were supposed to be working down to this facility. Hope that was worth it. See what that does for the job numbers, right? For the next job reports, right? Because we are celebrating, yay, yay, yay! We are deporting immigrants. Oh, they're not immigrants. They're just actually South Korean nationals here on work visas, helping to educate, edify, and train American workers on how to do their jobs that they need to do for a new factory. Oh, damn. Those were thousands of jobs. Oh, shit. Oh, we didn't think about that part. Oh, but you could come work for ICE and help us deport more people. Everybody go work for ICE. Here we are. Governor Kemp is mighty quiet. That bitch been radio silent. He ain't had a fuck thing to say. Governor Kemp is radio silent. Here's my question for all, because there's a senatorial election next year where John Ossoff is in the fight for his life next year. Let's see how this works out. Because if I'm running for Senate, what do you have to say about this, John Ossoff? You need to be sounding the alarm on this, and you need to call all of those people saying that they're running for the Senate to the carpet and saying, "Where are you on this? Why are you okay with thousands of jobs in Georgia now being pushed back because of the fuck shit of your God King?" Oh, they absolutely had work visas that were not expired. All of their paperwork was in order. I bet by this time we will have been told that the plant won't ever. Child, you already know it. Mm, But they wanted the headlines. They wanted to be able to say we had the largest ICE operation since January 20th, 2025, and we are deporting nearly 500 illegal immigrants right false, in the immortal words of Dwight Schrute from The Office. False. These were South Korean nationals here on work visas. All of their shit was up to date and on point, and they were actually helping us out by training American workers so that they could do the jobs that they were going to be required to do in this new facility. Here we are. Here the fuck we are. In more news, I told y'all, listen, I told y'all I had a whole lot of, we had a lot today. I told y'all the dossier was back today. Well, we didn't have a not a sugar spike. We didn't have a teacher project 2.0, but I got to mix in a little education today. Hear this. The education department announced yesterday it is ending discretionary funding to multiple minority serving institution grant programs. Those are MSI grant programs. Hold on to that MSI moniker, okay? The funding violated the law, according to the Trump administration, because it goes to institutions that, quote, meet racial or ethnic quotas, end of quote. Linda McMahon is on record saying, quote, discrimination based upon race or ethnicity has no place in the United States. To further our commitment to ending discrimination in all forms across federally supported programs, the department will no longer award minority serving institution grants that discriminate by restricting eligibility to institutions that meet government mandated racial quotas. Diversity is not merely the presence of a skin color. Stereotyping an individual based on immutable characteristics diminishes the full picture of that person's life and contributions, including their character, resilience, and merit. The department looks forward to working with Congress to re-envision these programs to support institutions that serve underprepared and under-resourced students without relying on race quotas, and will continue fighting to ensure that students are judged as individuals, not prejudged by their membership of a racial group, end of quote. Now, this is $350 million in MSI grants. Now, you know which institutions fall under the MSI delineations? Those are HBCUs. Those are majority. And you know how we have HBCUs? They are historically based Latinx or majority Hispanic Latinx community. They're the same type. I mean, colleges and universities, I should say. They're the same type of designations for some Native American or indigenous colleges and or institutions. All of those institutions fall under the MSI designation, and therefore we have $350 million worth of grants that were going to those institutions that now are no longer going to be going to those institutions. Mhm. Which now means at those HBCUs, historically Hispanic institutions, historically Indigenous and Native American institutions, at those institutions, that grant money is going to mean personnel, staffing, faculty. That personnel is going to mean studies and programs that people utilize that money for different research projects that they have, different dissertations and doctoral programs that they have. These are all funds and monies that are desperately needed at some of these underfunded institutions, because to them there shouldn't be any HBCUs. And if you don't see the writings on the wall that they're doing everything they can to constantly defund HBCUs, if you don't understand that there's a direct attack, and this is on both state HBCUs as well as private HBCUs, because let's be clear, state HBCUs and private HBCUs alike all take federal money, all depend on monies coming from MSI. Here we are. Here the fuck we are. In more sugar spiky news, I told y'all it was a lot today. I had so much here today. I'm only halfway through the sugar spike segment. God, the Trump administration has been allowed by a judge to purge more than 1,600, that's 1,600 research grants issued by the National Science Foundation worth more than $1 billion with a B dollars after that judge declined to grant a preliminary injunction in a case brought by a coalition of organizations representing thousands of scientists. The National Science Foundation, NSF, is the premier federal investor in basic and cutting edge science and engineering, which until this administration enjoyed bipartisan support, with the agency's independent review process revered globally as the gold standard. Shortly after the president's inauguration, the so-called Department of Government Efficiency, led by the billionaire Elon Musk, was given free rein to overhaul the NSF to comply with with what the administration said was its quote changing priorities, end of quote. Doge inflicted widespread and chaotic cuts to NSF staff, programs, and research grants, particularly targeting grants that complied with congressional mandates to improve participation by women, people of color, and people with disabilities in science, technology, engineering, and math, or STEM. So they are cutting programs that that required and mandated by Congress that were aligned and put in place to help improve participation in STEM by women, people of color, and people with disabilities. So no longer is there going to be an effort to get more women involved, more people of color involved, more people with disabilities involved with STEM. No, we don't need any of those research grants. No, none of that money. The whole purpose of this was designed to nurture and attract untapped talent and marginalized communities in order to boost American innovation, the economy, and the national defense. A legal challenge seeking to stop the NSF grant terminations was filed in June by groups including the American Association of Physics Teachers, American Association of Colleges and Universities, Women in Engineering Proactive Network, and United Auto Workers, which represents graduate students, postdoctoral researchers, faculty, and university staff working on campuses. The groups argued that the sudden change in policy and mass terminations at NSF were arbitrary and capricious, violating the Administrative Procedures Act, the separation of powers and due process. Yesterday evening, the District Court of the District of Columbia ruled against the scientists and declined to halt the cuts while the case proceeds through the courts. According to the court's ruling said, quote, the court finds that it likely lacks jurisdiction over plaintiffs' retrospective APA claims, and plaintiffs have failed to show irreparable harm flowing from the prospective APA claims, and have not shown a likelihood of success on the merits of their constitutional claims. While we are deeply disappointed in end of quote, excuse me. So what the court has said is, yeah, we'll let them keep cutting these grants. Yeah, they have free reign to cut these grants until it makes its way through the the legal process. Now, if it does make its way through the legal process and they find that there was violations and this stuff has to be reinstated, that could be years from now. And if you were receiving a grant for some type of project that needed ongoing funding, and that project is stopped, that could do irreparable damage to the research and all of the things that grant was deemed to fund. But here we are. We don't give a shit about having more women, people of color, or people with disabilities in STEMs. They don't give a damn. In more news, now yesterday we talked about this case with the Ukrainian young immigrant that was stabbed to death. Now this is DeCarlos Brown, right? I told you all yesterday when I went through this, they're not telling you that the man suffered from schizophrenia. They're not telling you that the man's family has been trying to get him permanently involuntarily institutionalized because he is manic more than he's not manic, and has and is harshly schizophrenic, which they say he already was before he first went to jail. But when he went to jail for that 5-year stint, they say it heightened his levels of schizophrenia, and that was all validated, I should say, by psychiatrists. Well, they've spoken to him, and according to Mr. Brown, when they asked him about it, he said that the woman, that the Ukrainian woman was, quote, reading his mind. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Allegedly, he talked to his sister on the jailhouse phone, and he said that he believed the lady was reading his mind. He also claimed that his actions were caused by, quote, the material in his body, end of quote. The man is schizophrenic, out of his mind, and rather than get the mental help and see about what can be done in order to help his mental state, in order to maybe have him medicated or do the things that can help him not do this, they're trying to murder him and kill him with the death penalty. They're seeking the death penalty. Because a black man that does this, they want the death penalty. If this is a white man that does this, they're going out of their way to look at every mental health resource that they can find to explain away why that white man should not suffer any type of jail time, certainly not any type of punishment. Oh, don't forget, they're using Daniel Penny. Yeah, that Daniel Penny, who murdered a black man on the New York City subway, as their martyr as well, to explain away why this is okay. Here we are. In more sugar spiky news. Now, if y'all go back far enough with me, we chronicled Madison Cawthorn here. We chronicled him when he was in Congress. We followed his whole story of when Congress turned on him. We chronicled how they said that they were going to primary him. We reported on all of this. Y'all remember, we reported on all of this. He is GOP. He was a MAGA nut. But when they found out he was in bed, remember they found him in the bed with another man and all this, that, and the third. And MAGA turned on him, and they said they were going to primary him. They primaried his ass, got his ass out of fucking Congress. Dead. And we chronicled all of this. Put a 27 in the chat if you were here when we went through his whole thing. We were covering him for months. Well, listen to this. This comes to us from our good hall monitor, DPG. Shout out to DPG, one of our great hall monitors here. Disgraced former North Carolina representative Madison Cawthorn was arrested in Florida just days after it emerged he is plotting to a return to Congress. The 28-year-old Republican was arrested early Wednesday at his home in Cape Coral after being a no-show in court over a citation last month for driving without a valid license. His reps confirmed that he, quote, was arrested for failure to appear for a routine traffic infraction, end of quote. His reps went on to say, quote, Madison keeps a very busy schedule and due to scheduling misunderstanding, did not appear in court this morning. Following processing, Madison was immediately released, end of quote. He was booked and released on a $2,000 bond, according to Lee County Sheriff's Office. He's preparing to launch a campaign to run for Florida's 19th district. Since he done left North Carolina, who said that they didn't want no parts of him. We'll see how this go for you, Madison. Now, I'm not listening. I'm not going down this road with y'all. I'm not going to say nothing about the fact that it's a lot of people in wheelchairs that drive. We do not need to be worried about the fact that this man is driving on a suspended license while wheelchair bound. That is not our concern. Plenty of people in wheelchairs who do not have use of their legs are able to drive. Do not ask me any more details. That's all I got for you, okay? I ain't got nothing else for you. He did rat out the swingers party. Remember we talked about that. We were over here chronicling how he talked about, he was one of the first ones from the insides that was letting it be known these bitches have regular sex parties. And they out here trying to call me out for laying in the bed with a man who was stroking my meat. And these bitches are having bi-weekly sex parties down to the DC. Did he show put them on blast? We were here for all of it, reported on all of it. That's the great that's the great coverage that we do over here. Now I teased this story yesterday, and I'm still God. It's already 6:30. I'm so behind. Oh my God. I'm so behind. I was supposed to cover this yesterday, and I'm gonna cover it. We're gonna get through this one today. I'm sorry. I know which story I'm gonna skip, but we're gonna get through this story today. All right. So I teased this story yesterday about the Texas A&M, about the Texas A&M professor. I do have the video. I want to play the video for you all so that you could hear the video. This is at Texas A&M. This ain't high school. This ain't middle school. This ain't elementary. This is Texas A&M. Okay. Here's the because I want y'all to now just to yeah, you know I got to get y'all over to really be before Ravine tell on us. Child. Listen, here we talked about that back then. I'm not doing this with you, therefore. We talked about this back then. We dog walked this man back then. That was in like 2022. Oh, really? We not going live today? Oh, we got a little bit of time. Okay, we can take our time then. We got a little bit of time today. So, thank you for that, Chef Dawn. Look at Ravine talking about she just listening, minding her business. Anyway, so let me give you the backstory again. Texas A&M University, their dean of the College of Arts and Sciences, as well as their head of the English department, were all removed from their positions because of Professor Melissa McCool. Now, she's not the dean nor the head of the English department, but they fired the dean and they fired the head of the English department because they did not fire Professor Melissa McCool. Right? Now, she teaches a course on children's literature. And this is what happened during the class. Let me play it for you. Oh, hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. Hold on 1 second, y'all, because y'all can't hear. Hold on. Let me do this again. Hold on. Let me do this the right way. Okay. All right. Hold on. Let me rewind. Hold on. Okay, we ready now. We should be ready now. You should hear it now. I'm gonna mute myself so that y'all can hear it. Here we go.
It's kind of a recap of our remarks on gender and sexuality. We ready from last class? One thing we didn't get to in our last class.
I just have a question because I'm not entirely sure this is legal to be teaching. Because according to our president, there's only 2 genders, and he said that he would be freezing agencies' funding programs that promote gender ideology. And this also very much goes against not only myself, but a lot of people's religious beliefs. And so I am not going to participate in this because it's not legal, and I don't want to promote something that is against our president's laws as well as against my religious beliefs.
You certainly have the right to engage in things that you find religious.
Mhm.
You suggested something else.
Yes.
You are under a misconception that what I'm saying is legal.
Can you explain to me how teaching us about gender identity and transgenderism and that there's more sexes than
gender isn't illegal.
Huh?
My gender isn't illegal.
Gender? What do you mean? Your gender is not illegal. According to President Trump's executive order, if you want me to read the paragraph in the order itself.
If you are uncomfortable in this class, you do have the right to leave.
Yes.
What we are doing is not illegal. And if you would like to make the claim that it is, you need to talk to the department head or the head of undergraduate.
Well, I've already been in contact with the president of A&M, and I actually have a meeting with him in person to show all of my documentation tomorrow. But
we are also aware, and this is part of why there was an observer in the class.
yes.
I'm not convinced that your proposal will be effective in stopping me from teaching things that are biologically true, because I do have the legal and ethical authority, all of the professional expertise in this classroom.
Okay.
It's time for you to leave now.
Yeah, no, I am.
So that's the video, y'all. That's the video. That's the video. This is where we are. This little girl is trying to tell the professor what is and is not legal. This is why you're in school, ma'am, so you can learn. Because you do realize that the federal government does not have any control over what college institutions instruct on. They can influence them. That is state. The state would be the one only, and that's only if it's a state school, which Texas A&M actually happens to be. So in this case, in Texas A&M's case, and in the case of this class, ma'am, you talking about President Trump's executive order has no bearing on legal and illegalities. In order for something, hey, newsflash, 7th grade civics class, in order for something to be deemed illegal, there has to be a law. And executive orders, ma'am, are not law. In order for them to have true backing, an executive order has to then be followed up by a law that's passed by either Congress in Washington, D.C., or your state legislature. There actually has to be an actual law passed in order for something to be fucking illegal. You stupid. But see, this is why I'm not there. And that lady was so calm and patient with her. But because now, Professor McCool was not fired. The dean of the College of Arts and Sciences was let go. The English department chair was let go. Texas, now I guess mayonnaise mama went and talked to Texas A&M president, and it was effective because Texas A&M president issued a statement this past Monday night saying, quote, I learned this afternoon that key leaders in the College of Arts and Sciences approved plans to continue teaching course content that was not consistent with the course's published description. As a result, I directed the provost to remove the dean and department head from their administrative positions effective immediately. Our students use the published information in the course catalog to make important decisions about the courses that they take in pursuit of their degree. If we allow different course content to be taught from what is advertised, we let our students down. When it comes to our academic offerings, we must keep our word to our students and to the state of Texas. End of quote. Mr. President, sir. Come in, Mr. President, sir. I have a question, right? Because if we're bending the knee to people's religious ideations with regard to education, right? Shouldn't you perhaps fire the head of maybe the biology department or the science department as well? Because they happen to teach courses like genetics and evolution, which go completely counter to, I'm sure, this girl's religious leanings that the earth is only 6,000 years old, right? Because according to her and her religious ideations, there's no possible way that a biology teacher or a science teacher or a teacher of evolution should be teaching me that the world is millions of years old. There's certainly no way that you're teaching about evolutions and humans or Homo sapiens being a part of the same family as primate family as other primates. None of that is possible, right? And so certainly you are firing the heads of the science department, right? God be with us. Harold said there's breaking news. Hold on, Harold. Let me see what I can find out. I saw that video, y'all, and I like to have lost my damn mind. I like to have lost my goddamn mind. Do you hear me? I like to have lost it. Lost it. A mess. Just a damn mess. A damn mess. A damn mess. Hold on. Harold, I'm looking. I'm going to all my sources of truth to see if they're reporting on it. I'm not saying you lie, but I like to search several. Whenever I hear any story, I never go to one source. I go to several sources of truth to see if they are reporting on it. I done went to about 5 or 6 sources. It may be going on here, but I'm going to give it a second so they can work it out before I report on that breaking news. Because I'm going to all of my sources of truth. Now, I am seeing some local outlets announce that the Naval Academy is on lockdown. This is the one in Annapolis, Maryland. They're saying, however, a police spokesperson by the name of Cortland Jackson in Annapolis for the Annapolis police is saying, quote, "We cannot confirm an active threat, but are searching the area out of an abundance of caution," end of quote. And that's as of 6:37 p.m., which was 9 minutes ago. So, and that's the last thing we have. But they do have the Naval Academy in Annapolis, Maryland on lockdown. They have not, there's been no confirmation from police yet. But they out of an abundance of caution, they have them on lockdown. That's the update. Okay. So yeah, that's the update that I have, y'all. Thank y'all for keeping me informed, y'all. I like y'all keeping me informed. We're on to this one. I listen, y'all, we still in the sugar spike segment, okay? As things come up, y'all continue to keep me informed, okay? If you find out anything else, just put it in the chat. I'll make sure I update it. I update y'all as I can. I'll update y'all as I can. All right. Who's the gentleman you see on your screen? Where's Chef Don Don? Chef Don Don, pop out of the bushes. Now, this your sector. This is the church sector, y'all. We got to delve into the church sector, y'all. Y'all know we don't be over there in the church sector too tough. Unless we have a reason. Today we have a reason. Now, who is this man? That would be Joel Webbon. Webbon is the last name. He's the senior pastor of Covenant Bible Church in Austin, Texas. Now, according to him, black people ain't the only people that black people ain't the only ones who have to have a talk. White people, the people descended from the Caucasus Mountains, they need to have conversation, the talk as well. Oh, you want to know about the talk? Here's the video.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children, according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says, there are certain parts of town that you cannot go. And there are certain people that you cannot be around. Right? If there's someone who is black in our church, and they've been in our church, and we know them, and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person, but we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers, and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger. Them's the facts. And it is actually a failure of your parental duty. White parents, please hear me. If you teach your children growing up,
I'm sorry, y'all. It's echoing. Sorry, y'all. I know why it's echoing. Hold on, y'all. Hold on, y'all. I know why it's echoing. I know exactly why it's echoing. Hold on, I'm gonna play it again. Hold on, y'all. I know why it's echoing. Give me a second. Give me just a second. That's because I shared the sound on the other one the last time. Okay. Here we are. All right. All right. Let's go back. I'm going to start it over from the beginning, y'all. Sorry about that. I'm going to start it over from the beginning. Hold on.
You're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children.
Hold on. I'm going to play it again. Wait right there, because I need y'all to hear his words. Now, I wanted to put this up here. I don't be around there to the church sector that much. I leave that to Chef Don and Thais and St. James and all of those people that do the church sector stuff. I don't do those people unless I feel urged to and the need to. Okay. But today I had a little bit of time, so we need to address Pastor Webbin. Here's the video without the echo.
If you're a Christian white parent who loves the Lord and loves your children, that you need to have the talk. The talk that we're referencing is the talk that takes your children according to their maturity at the proper time, the appropriate time, and says, there are certain parts of town that you cannot go. And there are certain people that you cannot be around.
Yep.
Right? If there's someone who is black in our church, and they've been in our church, and we know them, and they love the Lord Jesus Christ, great. We're not talking about that person, right. But we're talking about when you go into a crowd of people. If you go into a crowd of strangers, and they're white strangers, there's some danger. If they're black strangers, there is 30 times more danger. Them's the facts. And it is actually a failure of your parental duty. White parents, please hear me. If you teach your children growing up, if you lie to them and say, all people and all races of people in our country are the same. They are not. You are actually depriving your child of factual, truthful information that could save their life.
Oh, God. You see, this is the part that I like.
Major sugar spike.
So loved the world, I want to fight. That he gave his only begotten son.
Major sugar spike.
And shall ever believe.
Major sugar spike.
They shall not perish, but have everlasting life.
Taste the biscuit.
Jesus! I wish somebody help me.
This is a large church in the Austin, Texas area. These are the white Christian nationalists that are running this country. These are the beliefs and the ideations of these people. These people believe that this is inherently godlike. These people believe that the man upstairs ordained what he's saying. These people believe that this is Christianity at its core, and that Christianity is totally involved and engaged in whiteness. Let's be clear. The form of Christianity, let's have a real conversation, Pastor Webbin, because the form of Christianity that white America practices in those white Christian nationalist corners comes out of the black church and the black church experience. When you people were practicing Christianity in the 16th, 17th, early 1800s, it did not evolve into what you know it to be today until you started to steal from black people who you indoctrinated with your Christianity because they had their own religions. And you forced them into indoctrination of the Christian religion, right? And they took it and made it into something you couldn't even dream of making it into. And so you had to cosplay the Christianity that you saw from black people, only to then utilize that same Christianity to browbeat them, to murder them, to lynch them, to disenfranchise them, to dehumanize them, and to inflict all types of unmentionable atrocities against. All under the umbrella and auspices that this is from the divine. Totally neglecting that if I'm to believe in your Adam and Eve story, right? The first humans came out of the fucking Horn of fucking Africa. You know what that means, sir? It was nowhere near the Caucasus Mountains. You, sir, were not included in that divine. In its inception, sir. This is why I do not argue with these people. This is exactly why we do not negotiate with these terrorists over here. Because these people, they're terrorists. These are the terrorists. Church be packed. Church be packed. Packed. It's a large church. It ain't no small church, y'all. Here we are. I ain't got time. Listen, I don't have the bandwidth for it. I'm just not gonna get to this story. I don't even care. I done dealt with enough today. We done spiked out enough today. I do not have it to do. Nope. I can't even cover you today, sir. You a piece of shit. The the state of Idaho is a piece of shit, and you're a whole ass pedophile that they're letting out, that they're letting off. I ain't got this. I don't have it to do. Hey, lovely, true red. I don't have it to do with you, sir. You got to move. I got to get out the sugar spike segment because I done had enough. As we Watusi and do the stanky leg out of the sugar spike segment and deeper into the dossier. Y'all's girl from Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Mary Crosby, she finds herself in the news, or rather, her raggedy ass son, that degenerate ass son of hers, is in the news. Now, we saw her son and all of his fucking antics. She this Bible thumping Christian toting motherfucker. Since we're here now, and your son is a whole derelict of society. Well, he's been arrested. He's been arrested for assaulting and trespassing. According to an arrest report obtained by TMZ, Mary Cosby's son, Robert Cosby Jr., he was arrested just outside Salt Lake City, Utah, this past Saturday for failure to stop at the command of law enforcement, criminal trespassing, assault, and 3 alleged violations of a court order. Per the report, local police responded to a domestic violence call after Robert Jr. allegedly tried to break into his father-in-law's home via a dog door and assaulted someone on the front lawn. Robert Jr. allegedly failed to get on the ground when ordered to do so by the responding police officer before eventually complying and being taken into custody. He's on bail for $5,000. I'm sorry, his bail has been set for $5,000. Now, we know back in 2022, he was arrested for DUI. He didn't even have no license and was behind the wheel drunk circa Thomas Jefferson's concubine, Karen. Hey, butterfly. Why is my phone? Would y'all just stop? God. Not heard her weak. Our main G. And really, Demetria was gonna find a way to get weak in here. Shout out to weak. Shout out to weak. Demetria was gonna find a way to get weak in today's show. Listen, these people, they get a little bit of money. They think, oh, they have this level of autonomy and can't nobody touch them. Can't nobody do nothing to them until they fuck around and find the fuck out. Here we are. From what we see from this show, he appears to be coddled and spoiled and all kinds of shit. No. You thought I was gonna put her up when Sage was on the screen, child. I was spiking out at the time, but we could have put Wig up when Sage was on screen. We could have. I was spiking out. Mary, I don't know what to tell you, ma'am. Hold on. I think I left. Let me make sure. Okay, the next story is there. All right. So I teased this yesterday. I wanted to give this some space and opportunity. Now, for those of you who don't remember who this is, that's Tay Hilfiger, right? Not Tay, Zay Hilfiger, who was in that little rap group that did the little juju on that beat. Okay. So the other day, I think it was this past weekend. So if you don't know who he is, him and some other dude had the song Juju on that beat, and they had and you know, he does OnlyFans now and so forth and so on. And people have tried to, you know, call him out because he's pansexual, and that's what he says. He's a known pansexual. He's pansexual. But people automatically assume that it must be something wrong with him because he's pansexual. And how can he be a rapper and be pansexual and having sex on OnlyFans and showing his body and having and putting his dick in people and having dicks put in him and all types of things. He have sex with girls, guys, trans women, trans men. You got a hole, he'll stick it in there. And if you got something to be stuck in the hole, he'll let you stick it in one of his holes. Will. So this was the post, right? Let me move the banner so y'all can see the post. Can y'all read that? It says, the point people don't understand, my oldest brother S.A. me when I was only 6. This the reason I'm so sexually aggressive. I wasn't born this way. I was literally getting dick put in my mouth, thinking that was normal, till he came in my mouth and told me, have I ever done this? And don't speak about this again. Putting it in my ass on the couch through my shorts while I'm telling him stop. It hurts at my dad's house. So all that juju on that meat, don't, but not understanding. From a deeper level, you just don't grow up like that. You get exposed. And I told my family, even my mother, I helped make 1 million from my song, said I'm a lying motherfucker, but I don't care. She probably was touched herself as a kid. That's how this shit goes. Shaking my head. People were really taken aback by that. People were taken aback by that. I don't know why people were taken aback. This is the type of stuff that he post. Now, this is from his TikTok. I can't even post you the OnlyFans stuff. This is the stuff from his TikTok. Here's the video.
It's 7:14 a.m. I just woke up. So y'all know I gotta smell my butt. I ain't gonna lie, it smell like your upper lip when you lick it and it's like musty. It's sweet and it got a pung smell to it, but it's very sweet. Smell like this every day. And everybody in my life has smelled it because I rub it all over my body. So if people be like, oh, you nasty, Zay, you know, like you hug me when I smell like ass. So, and I get compliments like, oh, you smell good. Why you smell like that? It's my ass. Y'all be tripping. Ass do not stink. It smell good. It's sweet and it's musty. And that's human nature. Just like the smell of your upper lip.
What do y'all want from me? What do y'all want from me? I don't know what y'all want from me. My only concern with people's concern is I hate the conflating people's orientation if it does not align with the heteronormative vantage point. It's always conflated to, oh, I was touched as a child, or somebody must have touched that child, and that's why they're not normal. Which then points to that if anybody falls outside of heteronormativity, then they must have had some type of traumatic experience, or they must have had something that made them that way, because it's not normal to be that way. Even though sexuality has been fluid in the human genome since there was a human species. And the human species is not the only species where sexuality is fluid and where there are uh, animals of all genders or that you could imagine and species of all types have sex with any and everything. And if y'all don't stop with these fucking messages, I swear to God, I hate when they get like that. Anyway, but my thing about it is every child that may have been a victim of some type of sexual assault doesn't turn out gay or bisexual or lesbian or transsexual. And on the other hand, everybody who does identify as something outside of the heteronormative spectrum was not violated, was not victim to any types of trauma or anything like that. My bigger concern is why, if I'm coming to say hello to you, do I need to be smelling your ass crack? I would venture to guess people don't want to walk up to you and smell your ass crack. But here we are. Booty hole Zay. Zay, who smells like booty hole. I just wanted y'all to see that. Moving on. Bad Bunny says he's canceling the US leg of his tour. Is all of his US dates for his current tour have been removed from the website and from his schedule. He says he has made it clear that American cities are not a part of his 2025-2026 performances. In a recent interview with ID, he explained that his decision was tied to concerns about immigration enforcement. He noticed that the possibility of ICE appearing at his shows made him think carefully about whether to perform in the U.S. And he said, quote, "There were many reasons why I didn't show up in the U.S. and none of them were out of hate. I performed there many times." End of quote. But the man said he don't need to be at concerts and y'all got ICE snatching people up. He said, quote, "Latinos and Puerto Ricans of the United States could also travel here or to any part of the world. But there was the issue of like fucking ICE could be outside. And it's something that we were talking about and very concerned about." End of quote. The man said he ain't coming over here because he know he has an enormous Hispanic Latinx fan base, and he's not going to subject his fans to perhaps being snatched up by ICE and this administration and their fuck shit. I ain't even mad about it. Right. Take a stand. I ain't even mad about it. Like, nope, I ain't coming. Y'all mad? Go talk to y'all people. Go vote. Go get that in order. But I'm not gonna put people in harm's way because of these people and their fuck shit. I'm here for it, Bad Bunny. I'm here for all parts of it. Here for all parts of it. I ain't seen that video. You need to send it to me, the state of being. But Bad Bunny said, yeah, he ain't here for it. If y'all looking and checking for him, he won't be here. Won't. He ain't gonna be here. Cause y'all play around with ICE and my people. Majority of people who come to my concert look like the people who ICE trying to snatch up. Ain't going over there. And that's a lot of money for any community that he goes into. That's a lot. If y'all think Beyonce be selling money, go to a Bad Bunny concert. Bad Bunny rolls into any city and shuts the city down. I'm not making this up. I went to a Bad Bunny I didn't go to the concert, but I went to an event that was in Orlando a couple years ago, and they were having a Bad Bunny concert at the Citrus Bowl, and the place where I was across the street from the Citrus Bowl. I couldn't get in and couldn't get out. He had filled the entirety of the Citrus Bowl from top to bottom, and I know the Citrus Bowl holds what, about 70,000? Had filled it up, the whole thing from top to bottom. And that's not including the seats that they put on the field. That's just the seats in the bowl area. That's about 70,000. That doesn't include the thousands that they put in the on the field. Filled it up. Whole dozens of and he had like 5 days that he was there. Dozens of hotels packed. Like he goes everywhere in the world and packs out whole arenas. Everywhere. Whole stadiums. He's a global sensation. So the point that I'm making is for any community, the economy, he boosts the economy of every community that he goes in. That's a lot of money that could be spent here in this country. But y'all with y'all fuck shit. Oh well. That's y'all favorite housewife, Kelly, right? So reportedly, she's been issued a restraining order after allegedly busting in on her neighbor's patio. According to US Weekly, Kelly, who's an Atlanta food entrepreneur, was hit with a court order requiring her to stay 30 yards from her neighbor after tensions reportedly boiled over in their gated community. The incident stems from an alleged confrontation involving her parking violations and her neighbor, whose name is Manualda Cash. Now the lady, Miss Cash, or Mr. or Miss Cash, they're on the HOA board. Y'all know them HOA people. HOAs, I swear, are the worst organizations in the world, ascended from the eighth level of hell. Like HOAs are some of the worst things on the planet. In the court documents that were filed on September 2nd, the HOA board member, whose last name is Cash, Mr. or Mrs. Cash, claimed that Kelly, quote, aggressively entered my private patio through my private gate in a violent manner, end of quote, on August 9th after her car was booted for being improperly parked in a fire lane. Y'all know that HOA person called and had that woman's car booted, had a boot put on that woman's car. Kelly said, I'd have had it, and went over there and was ready to fuck some bitch up. And the HOA salesperson, no, I feel assaulted, and went and got a court order for a restraining order. Did. The person says that Kelly went over there and wasn't by herself and was storming at the person and had to be physically restrained. They say there's a video. Well, there was a temporary restraining order granted. A formal hearing is scheduled for September 22nd. Listen, HOAs are just some of the most evil, vile organizations this side of heaven. I cannot stand HOAs. Can't stand them. Can't stand them. Rosie O'Donnell is in the news. Well, she is has had to make the decision to miss her daughter's college graduation. Now, she revealed recently on a podcast that she skipped her daughter Vivian's graduation ceremony earlier this year because her security team strongly advised her not to return to the U.S. She said her team warned her that her presence could be exploited by Donald John to rally his supporters, and that her security team was afraid for her safety. Mm-hmm. Now she lives over in Ireland now, but she said her security team was like, nah, no girl, don't go over there. Mm-mm. It ain't even worth it. Do not go your ass over there. Nope. Don't do it. She said she's always alluded to the fact that she won't be coming back to the US anytime soon. She said when America starts treating all citizens equally, then she'll come back. But she has no plans to come back. No, he do have a hard on for that woman. Mm. Anyway, I like Rosie. In our last story of the day, thank you, God. I didn't know if we was ever gonna get through. Kelly Davis, estranged for wife of former NFL player Thomas Davis, was arrested and charged with misdemeanor assault and battery after allegedly putting hands on a woman she suspected of having an affair with her husband. The confrontation happened back in August on the 26th. That was like a week and a half ago. It happened on August 26th inside the woman's chiropractor office in Charlotte, North Carolina. According to court documents, Kelly struck chiropractor Laura Watterson in the chest and then hit her again in the head, knocking her glasses off. Now, wait a minute. That's where we lose it. When you come over to me, baby, when you knock my glasses off, I lose it. Anybody who wears glasses, what happened to my damn screen again? Anyone who wears glasses, I'm sure will agree that if and when you touch my glasses, or if my glasses should happen to fall off, baby, you could cancel Christmas. All bets are off. You could listen. They say she hit the woman in the chest. She hit her again in the head. But baby, when you knock my glasses off, bitch, I'ma fuck you up. Bitch, you done big for this ass whooping. Bitch, you trying to get fucked up. That's when you know it's cereal. This is cereal, people. This is cereal. Where all my members of the brotherhood and sisterhood of the spectacles at? You could do a whole lot of things, but don't touch my motherfucking glasses. That's what we not gonna do. That's where we lose it. That's where we come out of our fucking body. That's where we got problems. This is cereal, people. Cereal. Ciao. Baby, listen. Baby, when you touch these good glasses, if you want to, you're gonna find yourself with a problem. We're gonna have real problems over here. Real problems. Shout out to my fellow members of the brotherhood and sisterhood of the spectacles. Where was I? Now, they said the woman, Laura Watterson, said she was in the middle of treating a patient when this Kelly lady walked in and turned the office into a whole scene. The lady said, quote, I tried to guide her out the door and that's when she hit me. End of quote. A warrant was issued for Kelly Davis's arrest on August 29th, and she was booked into custody on September 3rd. Her attorney has called the accusations false and says Kelly plans to fight the charges in court. But Kelly isn't denying it happened though. She told TMZ she did slap the woman, but claimed it was out of self-defense. She said, quote, "I'm not jealous. I don't want that man back ever in my life." In the quote, "Yeah, you do, because you went all the way down to that woman's place of employment. If you don't want him, if you ain't jealous, if you ain't got no problem, why the fuck you run up on this woman in her place of employment?" The woman is a whole chiropractor trying to, crack bones and shit. She over there trying to crack people's bones and they vertebrae and shit, and then they neck. And you over here bothering that woman. She over there giving out the little spinal column keychains and shit down to the chiropractor. Now they say this is the first time that this Miss that Kelly done got into it. Uh-huh. Um They say she was married to Thomas Davis. She married Thomas Davis back in 2018, and they separated just March of last year. But they said it's been tumultuous, and this ain't the first time she done had to fuck a bitch up by her man. She filed a civil suit against her ex-husband and accused him of sleeping with at least 6 other women during the marriage. Mm. Ma'am, you're not gonna win this case in court. Ma'am, you have a whole ass history of this. You obsessed with that man. That man don't even want you no more. I don't know if he wanted you from the beginning. He out here sleeping with everybody up and down the I-95 down to the damn North Carolina. They say at every south of the border billboard he got a fucking bust down. Every south of the border billboard he got a bust down. Child. They still have south of the border billboards in North and South Carolina. Is that place even still open? Where's Uncle Jay? Is south of the border still open? They still got them billboards up and down I-95 in between North and South Carolina for south of the border. I'm just asking. Child, it's a million of them. Child, they say he got a bust down at every one of them. Every time you see one of them billboards, he got a bust down in the vicinity. Child, ain't it though? That's a lot of bust downs. Oh, it's still there. They still got a baby. Listen, if you don't ever drove up I-95 in between North and South Carolina, baby, you gonna see them south of the border signs every 5 minutes. Child, used to count, baby. That's a lot of counting, honey. Baby, they had a bunch of them too. That's a lot of money too. That's like them damn Buc-ee's signs. Buc-ee's is the same way. Got a million of them damn Buc-ee's signs. Anyway, y'all, listen, we had an extended Run Your Mouth today. We had a lot to discuss today. But that's the whole dossier. We have nothing else to give. I've given my all today. I've given everything that I have today. Have I not given you everything? That's what Angela Bassett said on Black Panther 2. Listen, did y'all enjoy yourselves today? If you enjoyed yourself today, go ahead and put a shondo in the chat. Did you enjoy yourselves today? If you didn't, I enjoyed you. If you're new here, you could consider donating to the platform using that QR code there. We're trying to keep the lights on around these parts because the light's gonna be out, and we're trying to keep the lights on. Somebody the Inform already sent the Cash App. Thank you, sir. The Inform sent the Cash App. Thank you, sir. He's a member of the Brotherhood and Sisterhood of the Spectacles with me, and he sent the Cash App. Shout out to all my members of the Brotherhood and Sisterhood of the Spectacles. We need to come up with our own signs and calls and stuff. Thank you for your Cash App, The Informed. Thank you so much. Listen, y'all, I had a great time today. But I'm tired and I'm hungry. We hungry. As I always say, I love y'all. I love all y'all. Thank you all for being vocal, present, and active. Thank you for doing what you do. Thank you for any and all contributions that you make to the channel. They are so much obliged and so appreciated. We about to get out of here. We'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow is Friday, so we're gonna be with all of the fuck shit tomorrow. Be prepared to come up on the live. Y'all will get the link. You'll be able to come up and address anything that has happened this week or anything going on tomorrow. We will have Silly Saturday on Saturday. So we have a full week of programming this week. So I look forward to y'all coming up in here and talking to me tomorrow. I'm gonna see if we could try to get a Big Brother panel somewhere in this weekend or something like that. We'll see. I also talked to Really Beat Him about joining the panel that they have on the Houston show, Hustle and Hoes and Hustle, Houston Hustle and Huzzies, whatever they call something, and Hustle and Huzzies, Hustle and Hoes, whatever it's called. So you may find me on there. Shout out to Demetria for sending money for some crabs. Shout out to Demetria. Thank you, my love. She sent a Cash App for some crabs. Did. Let me know, Chef Don, and we could do the damn thing. Just let me know. And we could do the damn thing. Anyway, y'all, I actually like them. They are quickly becoming my favorite group of reality girls. I love them, girl. I do like them. Even though Chloe get on my fucking nerves, and she's still on my damn nerves. But yeah. Anyway, I'm about to get out of here, y'all. I'll see y'all tomorrow. Until next time, thank y'all for coming. Y'all drive safely. I'm out. I will see y'all